Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a tarot reading, a general tarot reading for BTS Jimin. I did actually a series with individual readings for each member of BTS. I think that when I started my channel back in February, so now I felt like I wanted to do like an update because you know that I leave a few months between each reading, so I don't get too invasive into their energy. I believe it's a very respectful way, and this is how I do it with my clients also. I try to leave a bit of time to pass between each reading so events can evolve and so life can happen, because that reading is not about you just name things and it just happens the day before, or the day after the reading. So let's start with the cards that came out for Jimin. He got the Devil, the Prince of Pentacles, the Lovers, the Empress, the High Priestess, the Temperance, the Knight of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, the Four of Swords, and the Death card. And I pull out also one extra card for as an advice from the Oracle of the Chakras, and we got Dedication. So let's start what the cards have to say about Jimin and his energy, or what's available for him in the next 6 months. I mean, we can take this reading as an overall energy for before this year ends, or the months that are remaining. So here, if we start with the Devil, you know that the Devil card, it's very meaningful and it's complex to explain it because a lot of people fear this card and the Devil and the Death card. I believe that it shocks a lot of people because of its image, or because of their preconception of what it means. But actually, when we think about the Devil, we think I interpreted it as attachment, as a very emotional attachment to something that you cannot let go. I see Jimin slowly trying to work on himself and trying to make like small adjustments in his life, in his decisions. I think he's taking one step at a time because he doesn't want to repeat certain patterns of behavior that he has. There's a bit of, probably in his past connections with people, or in his past relationships, there had always been an element of toxicity, an element of feeling a lot for that person, or that person feeling a lot for him. So everything became so dense and so heavy, energetically speaking. And I think that there are a lot of things about recent events, or about his past choices, that he cannot let go of. Probably, I think it has to do with the way his relationship with others and how he interacts with others, because here we have the Lovers and the Empress. So it definitely talks about connections. It talks about other people. It talks about how important also relationships are for him. Let's think that Jimin is Libra sun with a moon in Gemini, so he has a lot of air in his birth chart, but at the same time he also has a lot of Scorpio influence. So whenever I talk about Jimin's energy, it seems like that Scorpio strong placement that he has always comes represented with the Devil card. because it talks about the struggles, about letting go, or probably people not being able to let go of us. You know, in relationships, everything it's 50-50. It means that you can be the toxic in the relationship and your partner can be the toxic in the relationship, and it's like it's not that one is the good guy and the other is the bad guy. In a relationship, it's always about giving and receiving, even though if you are not aware of that, and if you think of yourself as the good person, or the wiser in the relationship, there's always a negotiation in a relationship. There's always a reason why you mirror each other, or why you are together, or why you stayed the time that you stayed, and why you chose that person and not other person. So I think that Jimin definitely is going through a process of disintoxication from a lot of old. I believe he has this kind of intense connections with people that he finds really hard to let go of, even though time passes and years passes by. For him, it seems like yesterday. So I think that this affects his disponibility, or his for him to be available to enter a new chapter when it comes to himself as a lover. And I think that it's meaningful that the cards, they all talk to me about how important is relationships for him. It's very Libra actually for him, because Libra, the whole growing process and the whole learning process of a Libra energy is to be with other people, and it's influenced by people around him and who they connect with. So I think that he had relationships that weren't very beneficial for him mentally, emotionally, and I think that there could also be situations where he was not beneficial for others, you know, because it's not, like I said, let's not just put the blame on one side. Let's be fair. When we think about a bond and we think about a connection, both parties are involved and both parties are responsible. So I think that he wants to be more responsible in the future. He is thinking a lot about that, because I think that he had lost a lot of himself, and he had lost a lot of his own persona or his own self, investing in relationships that actually weren't very good for him, and that he would always end up feeling tired, feeling guilty, feeling remorseful, feeling like he was always the one that made a mistake, and also feeling very irrational, feeling like the worst part of himself would always come out when it comes to these strong feelings. Probably, I don't know, outburst of having jealousy or being possessive, you know, being not that nice, because of the intensity of the bond and because of what the other part is making him feel, you know. So I think he had learned a lot about himself, and I think that all these attributes of feeling really negative about himself, now he's seeing it like, okay, like this is a result, this is a learning process. I know what I do not want in relationships anymore. I know that when I'm starting to feel that way for someone, I should stop. I shouldn't be like this. I should try to relate myself, and I shouldn't let other people get on my nerves, because I see like him connecting with people that actually provoke the worst in him, you know, like him acting petty and him saying really hurtful things. So, and also receiving hurtful comments as well, you know, it's a feedback. So I think that he realized that this is not what he wants to build in his personal life, in his intimate life. I think there's someone from his past that he definitely put in a pedestal back in the day. And this female, because I see that it's a female, is female energy, um, had a very strong connection with him, almost like telepathic. She would know if he was having a good day or if he wasn't. And she would, I don't know, text him or call him and ask him how he was doing. And he was a bit shocked by this kind of connection. But at the same time, I think that there were a lot of misunderstandings. There were a lot of trust issues. There were a lot of things that weren't clear. So I wouldn't say this was like an official relationship. I think that the bond felt really strong and felt really intense, but I don't think he invested as much time and effort as he would have liked to do it. I think that probably he, with his lifestyle, and herself with her things and her lifestyle too, probably they wouldn't be able to meet as often, and this would also create an atmosphere of resentment, of being like, oh, you cannot be with me, you didn't come to see me, we didn't have a date, and a lot of fights, a lot of arguing, a lot of um, demands, like, oh, you were supposed to do this for me, and you didn't, so I think that if now he is on his own, I think that he is, I don't see him actually like seeing someone right now, but I think that he definitely is going through a process of a lot of healing. He doesn't want to rush into getting into a new relationship soon, because I think he wants to work on a lot of projects, and that he wants to focus on work. But I think that for Jimin, I think that Jimin needs someone that is, from the cards that I see here, he is very emotional. He's someone that I think that relationships are a huge part of his life. And connections also. So even though he is very professional when it comes to his career, he always end up connecting with people, new people, or people from the past, or people around him. He is very sociable. So I think that he definitely it's like he's not the kind of guy that is looking for a connection with someone, but he ends up in that situation where he starts talking with someone, and then all of a sudden he becomes friends with that person, and then that person introduced him to someone else. So he is very popular. But I think that when we are thinking about a real close connection, really intense connection, I'm thinking about someone that probably wasn't really available to be with him, because I think that there's something about distance, like a long distance relationship kind of thing, that this distance was what made everything more dramatic for him. It's not someone that he would see regularly. So, and I think that now he just wants to, he wants to end this year feeling really good with himself. I think that being in relationships, I don't know why, but it triggers all his insecurities. He feels really anxious when he's in relationships, and he also has this, I don't know why, but he has this kind of magnet for attracting people that are very intense when it comes to character. So it's like things get pretty volatile really soon, and he is someone that he doesn't like conflict, but at the same time there's something about him that he just cannot let go of things the way they are. He just cannot let time fix things. He just has to get involved. For example, if he has a disagreement with someone, he has to talk to that person, reach that person, and try to fix things. And I think that this, when you are in relationships with people that are dramatic and that are attention seekers, sometimes you just have to let them, cool off, or let them just relax, or let time passes, so things don't get more dramatic. And I think that for him it's not easy to let things settle on their own, let things come, let things like let the situation calm down, let the person calm down. No, he has to try to fix things. Sometimes this approach makes things worse. So I think that now he's starting to realize that he needs to change a lot of things about the way he approaches relationships. Sometimes he just needs to give people space. This is also that he is very caring. He gets really involved in when he cares about someone. So for him it's really hard to act detached, to act like he doesn't care or that he is not thinking about that person. It's really hard for him to refrain or to hold himself back and be like, oh, I shouldn't react. I have to keep calm. For him, it's not easy. It's like you can see it, that he's really nervous, that he's someone that he's thinking obsessively, what did I do wrong? How can I fix this? And I think that he's always guilty. He's always guilty. He's always anxious. He's always fearful, almost like paranoid. So I think that definitely he's very insecure when it comes to relationships, and at the same time I think that he's someone that definitely needs the recognition of others. So I think that sometimes he can be a bit too needy, like being a bit too obvious, like he cannot play the role of, like the cool detached guy, no, because he is very he has this inner rush inside of him that is like, no, I have to get closer to that person. I have to talk to that person. He has these inner thoughts, that he cannot let go of. So I think sometimes he gives away his intentions pretty soon, and that he can be a bit intimidating and overwhelming, because it's like he doesn't leave you time to think for yourself. He just wants to communicate, he wants to talk, he wants to he wants to get involved, and I think that he also is someone that wants attention also from people that he cares about. He doesn't like to be ignored, and he's very impatient also. So here with the Six of Pentacles and the Four of Swords, yes, I think that he will go through a moment of actually not having a lot of time actually to be thinking about actually a relationship, in the sense that I think that they will be preparing a lot of work related things. I see them like working very slowly but secure about a lot of projects that they have to do as a group with the other members. So I actually see him like probably taking some kind of vacation, but really like a short one, like 2 weeks or so. So he will be able to, I think that here with the Death card, that is the Death card, there's a transformation. I think what I said at the beginning, that he wants to do some cleaning in his personal life. I think that he's realizing that he's putting a lot of effort in his relationships and that he is not being reciprocated. And also the last card from the oracle that I pulled is the card of dedication. So the card of dedication also talks about your ability to be dedicated to help others and to be there for others, but at the same time you need to revalue. You need to review this, like what's going on with you, like are you giving the same dedication to yourself, to your own things, to your personal well-being, to your own needs, or are you giving too much to the others? Are you dedicating your life too much to others? Are you being too much available to fix other people's problems and actually ignoring your own? Like, this is what I think that these 6 months are going to be very emotional and really relationship based kind of theme for Jimin to actually dive into and like do some kind of inner work and do some kind of he needs a lot of he needs to realize, he needs to stop a bit, and he needs to be able to see what situation has led him to always end up in this way of feeling, sometimes feeling really disappointed, you know, because it's like no matter what how much he does for other people, he always has this feeling of like he is the one that is chasing others, you know, like he is the one putting the effort, like he is the one putting all the energy, and it leaves him feeling really anxious because he doesn't feel that the other people like correspond him, you know, like he doesn't feel that love and that dedication back. So sometimes he does he gets angry at himself because it's like he thinks that there's something wrong with him, that this is why people don't like him or people don't do things for him, or why he's the one that always takes the initiative, and why he's always like reaching out to others and worrying about others, and how come no one worries about him. It's not that others don't worry about him, it's just that sometimes he wonders how come other people don't show as much passion or as much intensity and dedication as much as he does, because he, like I said, he has this rush inside of him, this inner fire that is like, oh, I have to do something, I have to help this person because I care about this person, because I want this person to be okay, I want this person to be, have to cheer up this person, you know. He's always thinking about making other people's better. So I think he invests a lot of himself in these kinds of interactions. And this is why sometimes he can be a bit of a passive aggressive, in the sense that probably he will not say anything if you don't recognize what he had done for you, but if time passes, he will mention this in a very aggressive way, like in a conversation. For example, he will say like, oh yes, I don't know, on March 7th, I did this for you, and you didn't say thank you. Or I did this kind of action for you, or I called you and I did this for you, and like you didn't respond back. He has a great memory for for things that happened in the past that had offended him somehow, because he's like he didn't receive the it's not that he doesn't receive the recognition, it's just that he wants to feel like you really mean it when you say that you are thankful that he did something for you. You know, he wants to see that energy. You know, he wants to hear that sincerity in your words. He wants to see that that shining in your eyes when you are saying it, because he definitely feels really good when he helps others. So when he doesn't, when you just say thank you for just to say it, you know, he feels really hurt inside, and he definitely pays attention to if you really mean it or not. So I think that he's starting to realize that actually he's been concentrating and dedicating a lot of himself for others. I think this is something that he needs to modify somehow. He needs to transform this energy, and that he needs to be a bit more selective about who he gives his energy to. I think that he gives too much of himself. He needs to learn to regulate his passion and his desire to help others. So this is all, guys, I have now for Jimin. I'm sorry that I don't see anything professional, like related about the boys or BTS, because I see him being really emotional right now. So this is what I got from for him, and I will be doing the other members in the future. So just be patient with me. I will try to upload frequently. So there's no need for you to ask me to do each member of BTS, because I know I have to. For respect, if I start by doing one, I will do the 7 members in totality. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a like, and if you want to give me some feedback in the comments, I always read you, so please be respectful. So guys, I will see you in the next video. Bye.